Hi, welcome again to this channel. Thank you for watching. Today's topic is how do we love? So how we love, unbeknownst to us in our subconscious brain, comes from the way that we were raised and what's familiar. You may have seen, heard, or have been in situations yourself where you keep meeting people and none of them actually works out because you seem to attracted to the wrong people, and you seem to attracted to people that actually create more pain, where you don't seem to be attracted to people who seem secure, who are calm, consistent, and provide that level of calmness because you come from a chaotic environment. So Hamo Hendricks is a famous relationship author who's written many books, and one of them was he quoted, "Love equals home." So love equals home is because our brain tends to know what's familiar and is drawn to that. There is a scene in the movie Terminator, which I particularly like, and when he lands on Earth naked, and he's the Terminator, he realizes very quickly that he needs to get some clothes. And so he goes into a bar, and his internal computer scans the environment for the person that is an exact match to his size and shape. Then he goes straight up to the person, gets his clothes off and puts them on. So this really stuck in my mind because it's no different to when we go into a bar, when we go into a party, or when we go into a social setting or a meetup group, and we are instantly attracted to someone and we don't know why. Well, the reason we are attracted and we don't know why is because on a psychological level, we have found the exact person that unfortunately matches the psychological profile of the person that hurt us the most in our childhood. So maybe that person was a very poor parent, didn't have parenting skills, emotionally unavailable, alcoholic, abusive, narcissistic, just didn't have, maybe had suffered their own trauma and just didn't know how to be emotionally available. Because one of the things that happens to people who've not had love themselves or who come from a traumatic, chaotic background is they don't have the capacity to produce oxytocin the same as someone who's actually, oxytocin is one of the love hormones. It is produced when you're taking care of a baby, when you're being kind. It can be produced when you're petting your pet. So if that function is not happening, then the tendency is that that parent cannot give you the love as a baby that you need. And the brain is formed at a very early age. And within the first 2 years of life, the relationship brain, which is the right part of the brain, is formed. And that imprint is what determines who you look for when you go out looking for someone for a relationship and you're attracted to someone without any evidence of who is this person, what are they about. So the way that we love and how we love primarily is dependent on what we've learned in our childhood. If you've had one of the dysfunctional attachment styles because of complex post-traumatic stress or attachment injury or chaotic environment, or you've had a sense of rejection and abandonment, parent wasn't available, the gamut of neglect, maltreatment, abuse, emotional unavailability is programmed in, and that determines what your expectations are, to the point that if you haven't done any work on it, you're going to have this sense of what you regard as chemistry is that instant attraction to someone who will prove to you that they will be exactly the same as the parent that hurt you the most. That's who you tend to be attracted. And I say to my clients, run as fast as possible in the other direction if that's what's happening with you, because you don't really know this person. Just because you have this incredible attraction to someone doesn't mean that you know them. And there is no logical, rational reason for this. It's purely subconscious, and you're drawn to this person like moths to the flame. And it's just danger. It's a huge red flag that if you haven't done any work on yourself and you haven't resolved your childhood attachment issues, you're going to not be able to overcome that attraction and almost expect your relationships to be that high level chemistry, high level drama, high level pain and suffering, because that's what your comfort zone is. And you need to change that if you want to have a loving, secure, long-term relationship. The other thing is really important to, well, first of all, get your tests done online. They're all free. Your attachment styles, your love languages style, and the most important one is the ACE test, ACE. That stands for Adverse Childhood Events. These are all free tests online that you can do for yourself to give you a bit of a map as to what you're bringing to the table and whether you're ready to really start looking for someone, because you don't have your pick is broken, let's put it that way. You're picking the wrong people and you end up having pain and breakups one after the other. So prevention is better than cure in this. But the one thing you really need to also look out for and be aware and knowing of yourself, what is your relationship with your mother? If as a woman you don't have a good relationship with your mother, you haven't resolved within yourself, because you can't change the other person, but within yourself you haven't come to a place of resolution in the way you see yourself, in the way that you've resolved your internal issues about how you were parented and your relationship with that person, it's going to create problems in any future relationship, because you're still the common denominator to all your relationships is you. You're going to bring yourself to every single relationship. And so therefore, unless you change your own internal dynamic to yourself, part of that is it possible for you to feel good about who you are without external validation? And is it possible for you to receive love just for you without having to earn it, or people pleasing, or somehow feeling that you don't deserve it when it's actually coming to you, and then you sabotage that situation? So this is just a video on the different ways that people love. Secure attachment people tend to have the capacity to love others, to love themselves, and they have had love and probably still have love in their life because the parents love them. They have good relationships with other people. They feel stable and secure within themselves. And their behavior will tell you whether they're truly secure or not. Because even if they have loving parents, even if they've got loving friends, if they've had any kind of trauma in their background, then you'll probably find that they may not be as clearly secure, because even the attachment styles are on a continuum. You can be secure in every aspect of your life if you're not in a relationship, and then a relationship that comes along is going to trigger you and bring up all of the issues that you haven't resolved and throw you straight back into whatever attachment wounds you have unresolved. So that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe so this content can go out and be useful to lots of other people out there. And while you do that, if you have any need to work on your deeper issues, on your attachment injury, on your trauma brain, anything like that, please get in touch. I do free strategy calls. So have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.